Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Welcome into episode number 23 of DeathPiles and Taxes.
Yes, sir. Episode 23. Here we are.
The show about selling stuff on the internet and paying as little as you possibly can to Uncle Sam.
Hey, I got that internet's on the computer now.
Oh, do ya?
.com it up, baby.
Oh, I like that. I like to hear that.
That's good to hear, man.
So, shout out to DeathPiles and Taxes, not at the baseball ballpark.
It was very successful. The Ormals had us out there, and we almost filled a pretty good section of that stadium. So, Thanks for everyone coming out. It was a good time had by, I think, all.
It was a tidbit nipply that night.
It got down there, but, you know, we weathered through it. And it was a good thing about baseball games, especially minor league, is you can go off, you have your little adventures, go get you something to eat, go wander around the stadium, come back, check in, go talk to another group of people for a little bit, come back over, check in, watch a couple innings, you know, just have a good time. You don't have to take it too seriously. Everyone's there. You had your kids. A lot of people brought their kids out. It was a fun time.
Good time. Friend Jimmy of the show, he was there.
Jimmy Waddy was down. You got to meet the infamous Waddy.
And some family, some friends.
Family and friends. I got on the field.
You were on the field.
I got on the field, and I was throwing lawn darts, and the guy's advice to me, he said, have you ever done this before? I thought, when would I have came on a baseball field and thrown the lawn darts at a target?
Now, I distinctly remember a story from Denny saying when you were a small child, the puncture that you got in the head was one of those lawn darts that had the big spike on it.
I thought that's why. So the guy comes up to us, because we're there a little early, because, you know,
yeah,
get there early, get there, just make sure there's room and stuff for everybody, and everything's going to flow good. So the kid comes up to us, and he's like, hey, can I ask you something? Sure. You want to come participate on something? I thought, that'll be kind of fun, you know, out of the blue. You guys won't see it coming kind of thing. So
down on the Death Pile Taxes night.
And I said, sure. He says, well, we got two options. Do you want to sing for your supper, or do you want to throw lawn darts? And the sing for your supper was some Backstreet Boys song, but I've got an Outback steak. Yeah. So I probably should have done that.
Considering you want a haircut and you've got all 7 to cut.
Well, so controversial, right? So they have me out on the field, and they're like, this is for a haircut from someplace, because they're mailing it to me. I don't even know where the coupon's from for whatever, for participation trophy. And so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Well, my sister-in-law's there. She cuts my hair. She's actually cutting hair for the band Third Eye Blind.
Oh, yeah?
They're doing a concert tomorrow, and apparently she's trimming up their hair or something. So Hairstylist to the Stars was at our meetup.
Shout out.
And so Waddy's telling me how much he likes this, you know, how I've told you before, I'll go and get my hair cut.
Yeah.
And I'll just make up stories about things in my life or whatever. And then my sister-in-law who cuts my hair is there, right? So he's like, wait a minute.
What is going on?
This is not true. Now, that's a true story. I promise I've done that.
What's a true story?
That I'll go get my hair cut on occasion when I don't get in with her, or we had a college over here by us that does your hair, right? I don't have much to do.
So you're saying you're at your sister-in-law's getting your hair cut and making up stories to your mother-in-law?
No, not my sister-in-law. So obviously when my sister-in-law's cutting my hair, I can't make up stories about my life because she knows it. But I'll go to a different place, a different practitioner, if you will. Either she's busy or I just want to pay $5 and get her buzzed up the street. Or I've done this in the past. And what I do, just to clarify, is I'll sit there and they always want to chat you up. And they'll say, how's your day? Well, you can make up whatever story you want at that point about how your day is. It's either the best day of your life or you won't believe what happened. I mean, it was a 1 in a million shot.
Chug got ran over by a truck again.
Lost my job. Wife might leave me. And the kids, well, they won't go hungry. Let's just put it that way. A lot of government sugar in the house. Whatever you want to do, man, you can just roll with it, right?
Government sugar.
Or you can just, won the lottery. Now I know what you're thinking. Not the million, but if you get a couple numbers right, like you still get, I got $10,000 because I got 4 numbers right, whatever. You can do whatever you want when you're getting your hair done. So anyways, your sister-in-law does your hair. like, I believe this story. And I said, well, I've been known to exaggerate a time or two, but that one is based on true story, right? So, anyways, back to I'm throwing
lawn darts.
Throwing lawn darts. And the guy says, you ever done this before? And, no, I haven't. Well, it's just like throwing a book, he tells me.
Throwing a book?
Just like throwing a book. I think, well, okay. It's like throwing...
I was taught to respect books, and we don't throw them.
Well, the more I got thinking about that after, books are all different sizes and shapes. So, like, throwing a book, is he talking like an encyclopedia or like a paperback? So...
You were the one on the field. You should have asked him.
Well, I didn't think about it till afterwards. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So I grabbed the little dart and I tossed it, and I mean, it was wide left, but it did have the length, so that's sometimes what you need, right?
So you're saying you had the length, but not the girth.
Well, what you want to do when you're out there, like when you're throwing the first pitch out for a game, everyone like throws it too short. You want to overthrow it. Like, there's no way you're going to get signed to the majors, but you don't want to be coming up short.
You don't want to skip it to the plate. That's Pelican's MO in life. He's just always short.
So he's always just skipping it to the plate, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to get it there. Like, if it lands or not, it's going there. So I was wide left 3 times with a huge target throwing this thing, but
Scott Norwood was envy of your wide left.
Let's give it to him anyways. What do you say, Owls fans? And you guys cheered for me. So, and then I get off the field and like, oh, that was great. Can you write down your address on this piece of paper? So, and they'll me my haircut. But Waddy's mom, shout out to Waddy's mom, she said that I should just sell it on eBay. So, maybe I will.
So I may or may not have a beef coming with Waddy.
Uh-oh. Bad blood. I knew there was bad blood brewing.
Well, first off, it was that awkward, weird handshake.
Awkward, weird handshake?
Well, we started, like, I was going to fit bump, he could shake my hand, weird, just, it just started off.
No, okay.
Kid's good kid, but, I thought it'd be a good gesture to give him some of the limited edition toffee M&M's.
Sure.
I think he's going to pocket and sell them. I really do.
You think I'm going to have to watch his eBay store if he does? I'm going to insist that he splits the profits with you. Insist. Well, I gave him a Code Red Diet Dew because those are hard to come by outside the state. So
you come down from Washington D.C.
Man, he got the
Washington
State.
We treated
him well.
Oh yeah.
I should have went over and talked more to his family or to his wife and stuff. I was kind of occupied over in what we were doing, but
hey, good time had by all.
Hey, thanks for coming down. Maybe we'll do it again next year, right?
And then Jimmy brought his little Max all with him.
Yeah,
that guy, he's doing. We need to find out from Jimmy if he's selling on the internets.
That's what I'm wondering, because I know he listens to every podcast. He participates in discussions and everything. I don't know if him or his wife are even selling.
Well, I don't know, but he'd be that guy who's in the know.
He might be sneaky about it.
He probably is. He's like that sniper guy.
Well, I thought I was going to... Were you there? I thought I was going to have to go fisticuffs and defend his honor.
Uh-oh, I did not see what happened. Maybe I was over to the kids' playhouse.
Yeah, you disappeared to the kids' zone and some things. So
what happened?
Well, this lady comes up from down below, and she looks at him. And I'm just watching the game, but then she goes, "You're the one that took those tickets." And I'm like, "Oh, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here?" And turns out it was one of his coworkers, but they must have been free work tickets or something like that.
No, a guy sent him a text message like a half hour before he was coming to the game. Says, "Hey, I got 4 tickets. Anyone want to go?" Jimmy says, "Yes, I do."
Yes, I do. Well,
real quick, like
he had a large family.
He's got some kids,
so man's got kids.
Oh,
he's got to provide somehow.
Yeah,
and so 4 tickets. So anyway, she was just kind of razzing him a little bit, but like, you're the one that took those tickets, whatever. And I turned back to him. I said, "I had your back. I thought we were going to have to throw down." Just so you know, I was prepared to take that lady out.
You were going to be the substitute Trevor Hooper for the day.
Well, he wasn't there. Somebody had to be, right?
Somebody had been the big tough guy.
The word hero's thrown out a lot, but I was willing to take that and be that hero for Jimmy at that time. From behind of a woman that was probably in her 40s or so. She wouldn't have even seen it coming.
Yeah.
Just like form tackled and like, "You leave Jimmy alone. He's here at DeathPiles and Taxes night."
That's right.
So,
well, funny thing is,
luckily we didn't have to.
I saw, Jimmy had his kids, and you know what? He did the same thing I should have done, but I forgot.
What's that?
He brought his baseball cards for Corey Snyder to sign.
Oh. I didn't know Corey Snyder was even there.
He's like the public relations guy in charge of the Owls. He used to play for the Angels and several other teams.
I should know that. I don't know baseball.
And he brought 2 for both of his kids.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But funny thing is, I told you, we talked about it for a while. This is a more show of a doing, not listening. A little bit of both. You got to listen before you can do.
Sure.
Do as I'm doing. Follow me.
Boy, that UPS guy man, he was gunning it down, and his brakes are a little squeaky.
He's got
I don't know
stuff
if
to
you heard that,
deliver.
but that was a UPS man trying to make some rounds.
He's going left turn only. He's buzzing.
Sorry about that. So sorry, back to your story. I
No,
just thought he might be running that stop sign, run people over.
He had to get something to somebody on time.
Apparently, he's on a 24-hour window.
No, we went through the big pack of my baseball cards. We figured I probably have in the range of about 5,000 to 6,000. And we pulled out the Corey Snyder cards because we wanted to get those signed, but I forgot to bring them.
Well, the good thing is, you know where Corey Snyder's going to be this whole year, so you'll be able to find him. And the Colorado Vibes,
No, the Rocky Mountain Vibes.
that was a cool team.
Yeah.
I like their uniforms.
Not the Rocky Mountain Vapes.
They seem to be having fun. That's what I thought it was. I thought somehow this is marijuana affiliated somehow, but it looked like S'mores or something was their mascot.
Vibes, I don't know.
I don't know. And then Waddy's telling us all about these minor league baseball books and stuff to read.
I thought I had some niche baseball background, but apparently I'm like in the minor leagues when it comes to the minor leagues.
Well, you probably have some more major, but he dives deep. He takes a deep dive. But anyways, it was a great night. Thank you, everyone that came out. Thank you, Owls, for having us out. And we'll be back.
It's a good time. Well, let's see if we can fill up our section a little more next time.
Hey, we did pretty good, though, for the
Great.
amount of time that we were out, the amount of people that showed up.
Great.
I could not have been any happier. Aaron came out.
I know.
He's been on the show.
Yeah.
I had a few people saying they wish they came out. Your boy Gerb, who's been on the show, forgot about it.
We had some. Oh man, forgot about it. So going back to the baseball cards. Okay, we've talked about this, and I told you I'd finally go through my collection, and I went through everything. Like my son and I were sorting through cards for hours.
Good times.
It was a good time.
Memories were flooding.
Oh, they were just coming back in. And what I decided.
Raleigh Fingers, Dad. Who's that?
I didn't have any that old, but I do have a Raleigh Fingers shirt I found at Savers.
Okay.
That cool Nike one that's just got like his mustache. I was going to wear a different shirt, but I was kind of told I shouldn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The bosses came out.
Yes.
The boss said, don't wear that.
I had a really cool Seagull shirt that I was going to wear. A throwback minor league Salt Lake Gold shirt.
Well, there's always next year.
Yeah. Anyway,
back to your cards. Sorry, I don't need to get you in trouble. Although our wives don't listen, people that talk to them, and we'll get messages back to them, do. So, yeah.
It was probably true. I went through all my cards, and I found, for some reason, I had Don Russ 92 cards. Like, that was, I had, like, stacks and stacks and stacks of that year cards, and that's what I had my son do, is he went through and sorted through all of those and put them in different teams.
Don't bend the edges, son.
Yeah, so we went through all of it. I mean, literally, we're talking 5,000 cards sorted into the baseball pile, football, basketball, all of them in there. So once he got all of them like sorted for that one specific time period, the Don Russ 91 card, he then took them and separated them out by teams. And then he went on each team. This is all on his own fruition. Okay, this is his all own. He took each team and then got out all the duplicates, and he kept the duplicates. Okay. And
unless they're worth some money, in which case he'll be giving those back.
Yeah, and they're not that year.
92 was not that hot year.
Yeah, 91.
91.
So he took them all and flipped them over, and then separated it per team by pitchers and field players, and then he sorted them by ERA and batting average.
He is your son. There's no denying. I don't care what Maury Povich told you that time you went on that show. He is your son. All right.
So, needless to say, it was a good time had by all.
I'm sorry if I said something about your New York trip that I wasn't supposed to right there.
Hey, the show's not airing until August 1st, so don't blow any cover.
There's no way that kid's not your kid. That's a deep dive.
So we got that far, and then I pulled out the ones that I thought may or may not be of value.
Sure.
So, you sent me some information of kind of where to look it up to get some graded. The hardest one is I found this one Michael Jordan card.
That's always a good thing.
It was a Chicago White Sox Michael Jordan minor league card, but it wasn't like any specific brand. It was like Big Star.
Now we'll have to dive into it. That could be a really good thing.
Yeah.
That's potentially, not many made is always a good thing. Michael Jordan doing anything is a good thing. So who knows? We can deep dive. Yeah, I sent you over some credentials to get a little more deep diving in it to see what you could find. But
so it was fun because it gave us that again the opportunity to look at everything, kind of explain the way to my son how it works, and guess what?
Before the digital age, this is what we did.
This is exactly what we did. We didn't have internet, and I need to get a newspaper. That's what I need to get so I can take it home and show them what box scores look like.
Well, at the game, that's why I was surprised, because you're Mr. Keep Scorebook guy. I said, where's your scorebook? I thought you'd be teaching your kid how to keep score of all this. So.
I finally found it at the center of the program, like the 7th inning. So.
Yeah, well, no, he's a young kid, but he's interested. A lot of these kids like baseball fanatics.
This kid was more into it. Robbie Cano, don't you know?
He knew, so they were throwing a no-hitter or something. They took out the pitcher for whatever reason.
I know, and they're yelling.
The kid's like all upset, like, why would you do that?
It's like the 4th inning. I think it was like the bottom of the 4th or something, top of the 5th. What are you doing taking him out? It's a no-hitter.
Yeah, like he's the only one in the crowd that probably knew it, basically. I mean, a few of us old guys, I had no clue. I was kind of watching, kind of not for a lot of it. So
I'll be honest, I saw it.
But shout out to the kids, man. So, yeah, well, that's good. I mean, baseball cards are such a funny thing. The 90s were really mass-produced, so you have to find something pretty special for it to be worth a whole lot, but if you go back to the 70s, 60s, 50s, of course, those are really worth a lot. Then there's some more limited edition nowadays that if you find the right thing at the right time, it's a good hobby to have. So it's kind of fun to do.
You know what we don't do enough of? We're always telling people to listen to, review and do everything. Hey, thanks for downloading, people.
Man, we had a record. I think this was record week.
We're having over 100 downloads a week now.
I contacted Adam yesterday and I said, what's going on? We have more downloads today than the day it posted, basically, or as many. And, we usually have highs and valleys, but this week's been a record week. So if you're new to the show, just found us, thanks. Shout out to you guys. Let us know where you're listening from. As always, I'm at Twitter and Instagram at DRoy Everett. I'm giving out advice and putting things up. Adam's at Adam Up Accounting website. He has you can shout out your Twitter and your Instagram. You've been kind of keeping those kayfabe from the people.
I decided that I need to start using them a little bit more.
I kind of decided to. It's been fun.
It is good because then you're a little more involved, and like you said, you get some instant feedback, and you see the bolos before the bolos are gone.
That's the thing. I'm putting my bolos out there. I'm also. If you're new, just let us know where you're from. Hey, we're not big, bad, and scary. We love everybody.
So just so I say the term bolo doesn't mean I'm new to the show too. Be on the lookout for. That's what bolo stands for.
So your boy T-Dub. Sorry, I gotta bring this back. He calls me up the other day.
Bring in our buddy T-Dub.
Because he wants to know, because he's seen us on Instagram with our meetups and stuff. He's like, what's going on? Because he's Mr. Big Shot, whatever you want to call him. He's
our history guy. And when I say history, I mean History Channel or Discovery Channel.
Well, and also he works for he's worked for Discovery, he's worked for something with Marvel now, so he's like big events guy.
Yeah.
So he sees these pictures of us at the ballpark and stuff. He's like, what's going on? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I saw some pictures of you the other day and stuff at the concert or something. I said, no, you mean when I was at the wrestling? You saw my pictures at the wrestling when I met the champ? No, like something like you guys had something like in a stadium. I said, "Oh, our meetup group. We had a Bees Night, or not Bees Night, Owl's Night, and all the listeners came out and we had a good time." Oh, really? Yeah. Hey, what's that BOLO mean again? You can't ever remember the acronym because be on the lookout. Shouldn't it be on lookout? Sure. Okay, be on lookout. Doesn't really matter.
Apparently it does.
Apparently T-Dub's been listening a little bit here and there, so...
Shout out to Cousin T-Dub.
So there you go. Waddy's got beef with him, too. Maybe you're going to have a family feud.
You know what?
I'll have to tell you that story. I should have told you at the time, but it's pretty good. I'll have to tell you off the air.
Because I know we talked about it. They used to be roommates, or they knew each other, or something.
They know each other. I'll link it to you. It's not going to be too interesting for the people listening.
Because I asked him something about Bulgaria, and he just kind of glazed over and moved on.
Oh yeah, he had no clue. It was back when I was roommating with T-Dub. That's where that story originates. So
back when you had the full head of hair.
Oh man, those were the good old days. Hey, so there's a lot of stuff going on.
I know.
A lot of stuff going on.
It's a good time of year right now.
I'm going to throw this out. So we had a major breakthrough. We always say you can find us on iTunes, you can find us on Stitcher, you can find us on all these places.
Dog Catcher,
YouTube. I don't know. There's a lot of there.
Hit and Scratcher,
Spreaker. Wherever you're listening to us, you can find us there. I got an email the other day
Okay.
From the good folks over at Iheartradio.
Oh, I've heard
the iHeart podcast.
I've heard of those guys.
So I did a little, I don't even know what you want to say. I did a little due diligence, and I got us on to and accepted with the Iheartradio people.
Are you serious?
So now, not only are we on, Stitcher, iTunes, all these big places, iHeartRadio. So if you're in your car or on the internet at your house or however that works.
So I got a question for you, because I know that you can go to use your Alexa machine and say, play Latino 104.3, and
Sure.
it'll play. I wonder if you can go now to your iHeartRadio and say, Alexa, play DeathPiles in Taxes.
Somebody try that out there. I'm sure you probably can. If you have the iHeartRadio app or whatever, and just tell it that's what you want to listen to, we're there. So,
man, I gotta try that.
give that a try. Let us know how it goes.
That's gonna blow my kid's mind.
So maybe that's where some of these bigger numbers are coming from. But wherever you're finding us, let us know. We appreciate you listening.
Well, thanks, because like I said, if we can just get some of those, I'm telling you, are you gonna do a little breaking news sounder today?
Oh, do we have some breaking news?
Well, is it too premature to talk about what happened the other day?
Well, it's coming up. Let me hit a few things. I want to dangle that one out there. We got a carrot dangler.
Major news breaker.
We got a major announcement and some I don't know. We'll see where that's a story and a half.
All right. Okay. Well, we got. I'm telling you, want to hear the full version? We got to get to that 60 reviews, because
that's true. That's true. But now we got all these listeners. So if you're new to us, hey, go like, review. Once we get 60 reviews on mainly, well, I'll look everywhere, but mainly we're looking at the Apple stuff on the iTunes or
now it's going to be
Podcasts.
iTunes. Yeah. We're going to hit a major announcement. Derek's going to win a major award.
Well, once you hit that, give us a like, subscribe, tell people why you listen to this show, or whatever you want to tell them. Steal your cousin's phone, put it on there. Like I said, if you steal somebody's phone, put that's what you did and review us, I will give you a shout out on the show.
And by steal, he means borrow temporarily, and you're not going to go take it to the pawn shop.
No, just take it, open up their podcast app, subscribe to us, and rate and review us a 5-star, and say, hey, this is my mom's phone. I just grabbed it and downloaded your show, and I'll give you a shout out. Say, my name's Steven. Oh, hi, Steven.
Well, Steven, let's get on to the meat and potatoes of the show.
Anyway, so I was going somewhere with that. Don't remember where that was.
iHeartRadio. You got
iHeartRadio, but then
the big ticket
with the rate review. Oh, after 60, I'm going to tell you the Jerry Sloan story. So a lot of the new listeners might not know this. I got a big Jerry Sloan story. It has to do with sourcing, selling on eBay. We'll have a little more of that story coming up later. Because I can't avoid what just happened this week. So keep them coming. What happened with eBay this week? What happened on eBay this week? I don't know if you heard this, but Facebook is starting a cryptocurrency called the Libra. Have you heard about this?
This is an interesting area.
This is getting interesting. I saw this, and eBay came out and said that they're going to be accepting it or working on it somehow. I haven't read all the details. But basically, the biggest cryptocurrency to date's been the Bitcoin, right?
Correct.
And my boy Shooter Jennings back in the early days, like...
Waylon's boy?
Waylon's boy. It's been probably 12, 13 years ago, was telling all about this, get on this Bitcoin train, right? So I thought, I should probably do that. And looked into it a few times, and Bitcoins back then weren't worth a whole lot, but they had this whole, the government doesn't own it. The whole backstory of Bitcoin, everyone's probably heard it a million times. So I don't get into Bitcoin, and Shooter Jennings is still a big proponent of Bitcoin. Well, now Bitcoin, last year it soared up to where it was about, it was just under 20,000 of Bitcoin, right?
It's a lot of money.
So if I had got in when Shooter Jennings was telling me to get in on Bitcoin, I'd have probably made millions of dollars and not been doing this podcast right now, or if I did, we'd be doing it from a resort somewhere with people bringing us drinks on the beach.
You're right. eBay announced they're joining the cryptocurrency area.
So anyways, this is a whole different thing. This is Facebook doing this Libra, and eBay's going to work with them. I don't know what this means for payments as far as it's just another option. It's really new, so who knows, right? I'm not saying this is something that you should be buying into as far as an investment strategy or anything like that. It's just something to be aware of, that this is going to be coming down the line. So
what he's saying is evolve. The world is different today than what it was 5 years ago. and than what it was 10 years ago. It's different than what it was 2 years ago.
Well, either way, if you're selling or buying online, this is going to change because I'm sure the Facebook marketplace, this is going to be something they're going to push, right?
I'm telling you, the government wants to know what's going on, and this is not saying that it is, but people are always trying to come up with creative ways to do it my way.
Well, it's an international platform, right? So it's no government on Facebook, kind of. I mean, it's international, so an international payment doesn't have a U.S. dollar standard or a whatever.
And you get away from, currency exchange rates and all that kind of thing.
And we'll see how it goes. It might flop and burn, or it might go successful, but something as a seller I think you need to be aware of.
The world's going flat again.
It's going flat again. Don't get me on hollow earth theories and flat earthers and all that kind of stuff, man.
You're the one that tells me all about global warming, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt in January, or June, whatever month it is.
I wear sweatshirts in January, too.
June. I misspoke there.
That was the government raise messing up your mind, telling you what month it is.
And when I landed on the moon.
Yeah. No, we could do a whole conspiracy podcast at some point. Maybe that will be after our Halloween episode, right?
We did, when we told about Pahrump.
Oh, that's true. I guess we kind of already did that. It's in the archives.
Yes.
For you people that didn't hear it.
Check her out.
But anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. eBay came out and said they're going to be involved with it. And it's a new payment method. eBay's evolving their whole payment system. I'm sure this is something you could opt in and opt out of. They won't make you have to accept it, but hey, it's interesting, right? It's eBay news. That's what we're talking about. So,
well, I know you like it. What else you got for me?
What else you got for me? Well, what's your thoughts on this cryptocurrency, man?
You know, as an accountant, I'm big into this crypto, but I'm not. That they just had a major breakthrough this last year, and there was like the first actual audit that happened, because most of the big four current firms, accounting, Deloitte, KPMG, these bigger, larger firms, they didn't know what to do. Like, it was difficult to go in and actually audit it to say, this is what happened. Because the transactions are so fluid. Like, today it may have been worth $100, but the next day it's worth 91, the next day it's worth a negative 27, and the next day it's worth a positive 1,022.
Yeah, they definitely got, I don't know, even some things out. It's almost like a gold rush of some nature. Things
It
get
is.
hot. Some things won't. I really wish I'd have took opportunity back when I first heard of the Bitcoin to figure it out and bought a few, because I'd be sitting pretty. But
It's one of those, they try to make it rare and they try to make it this, and it's almost the same concept like we've talked about. Not that it's the same, but it's a different. But now they're selling shares of opening a pack of baseball cards.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with the U.S. dollar, everyone will get mad. You're supposed to have the standard of its
the gold behind
the gold
it.
standard, whatever, like, which we know is not there anymore and hasn't been for a long time. What's backing a Libra? What's backing a Bitcoin? I'm not really all up on this. I know that there's some sort of algorithm that goes out and mines them, figures them out. I don't know how the Libra is going to be, but what's the value? How you go to the bank and get your money for it. If I sell my item, I want to just be able to go cash out. So,
well, there's plenty of different things, and if it's one of those things, if you're like on the edge, if you want to dive into something that you're like, man, I want to know what's coming in the future, cryptocurrency, that's where it is. Not saying that's it's going to replace everything. It's definitely going to be something that's hot. It's going to be something that changes, because I'm telling you, and I've said this in the past, the government wants to know what you're doing. Venmo will become an outlet that the government knows everything about, and especially as a business owner, you will at some point in the near future be responsible for saying, this is income that I made on the garage sale, or this is a transaction that my sister is sending me money because I bought her lunch.
well, who sound crazy now? Government's coming to get you.
Mark my words. Get our our engineer to book this section.
Your
I'm
engineer's
saying right
me,
now.
just me.
Oh.
We ain't paying no one else to engineer it. They can tell when they hear it.
Book it, take this snidbit. You will have to be responsible for your Venmo transactions.
Hey, but it's a good thing as a seller. This is something that you need to be paying attention to, regardless of if you like it or not. It's coming down the pipe, so at least do some research to know what's coming down the line for you. We'll keep you up to date. I mean, obviously it's saying in 2020, so
That's hot.
that's a year down the road. So
Didn't it just seem like that crazy? You'd say 2020, and that's like,
just blink, man. Just wait.
yeah,
Jets and stuff.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still back. I mean, I graduated in the year 2000. We thought that was hot stuff.
Whoa,
That was futuristic.
that's the year the internet broke.
I mean, you guys can do the math and figure out my age from that one, but needless to say, the flying cars aren't here yet, but technology has definitely developed a long ways, and it's still coming. So just keep up on it. Also, hot tip for you. I forgot all about this.
I love it when you give me the hot tip.
Yard sale season's here, right?
It's here with a vengeance.
We're always looking for different ways to stand out at a yard sale. We're looking for different deals, different ways to get that purchased.
Yeah.
$2 bill.
Oh, that's what you were telling me. That's
the $2
right.
bill is a good strategy. So
Now tell me that.
what you're going to want to do is go to your bank. Now, there's people out there that haven't even seen nor heard of a $2 bill. But $2 bills exist. They were made, they're still made, but they're just not circulated for whatever reason. They haven't really caught on. And I think they were actually made for like dog racing or something. They had something to do with like horse or dog racing, right? In your wallet right there, Adam carries around a $2 bill.
Quick short story.
Okay.
My grandma has many sands of the sea, my Nana, and she likes to send out money every single year for birthdays and Christmas. But the older kids, she sends out $2 bills.
Sure.
That extra special, hey, I know it's your birthday. It's a $2 bill. Yeah,
it's cool, right?
It's a
not
$2.
something you see every day.
So I got a lot of $2 bills stored up.
Nana's thinking about you.
That's right.
My Aunt Marge would give us $2 bills growing up occasionally and stuff. So same idea. So
tell me more about getting a $2
So what you're going to do is you go to any of your bank, take $50 or something like that, and you say, hey, can I get this in $2 bills, right? When you go to the yard sale and you got $2 bills, people think that is cool. It's not something they see every day. Some people think they have a lot of value. And you say, how much is this item here? Oh, it's $10, right? You say, oh, okay. You kind of rummaging through and you're like, hey, I only got $4, $6, but they're these $2 bills. Would you be interested? Like, would that work? And they're like, a $2 bill, let me see that. Is that real? And they kind of look at it like, yeah, sure.
Because they want that $2 bill.
Because it's cool. It's just different. It stands out to them. Or the infamous Susan B. Anthony dollars, right?
The gold ones, right?
No, that's the Sacagawea. Those didn't get so hot. And then there's the president dollars, like the newer ones. Those didn't get so hot. But if you get the Susan B. Anthony dollar,
okay,
people think, for whatever reason, because they're from like the 70s, I think they still probably make those too. I'm not 100% sure.
I think they do.
They're not silver. They're not really, they're worth $1 is what they're worth, right? So if you bring some of those and like, hey, I got these coins, they're worth $1. I mean, you stand out at the yard sale and you might get better deals because somebody's like, that thing is worth it. I mean, oh, that's cool. That's a Susan B. Anthony dollar. For whatever reason, people didn't really catch on to the gold Sacagawea nor the President Face dollar, so those probably won't get you as much attention. That's more of a pain to people as far as carrying around the change. Up in Canada, our friendly neighbors to the north, they have the loonies and the toonies in their coins, the dollars and the
Looney Tunes.
Well, they got a loonie that's one of them's a loonie's $1, and I think a toonie's $2 if I remember right. Coin.
You'll always want to check your coins because you were just telling about coins and stuff. So I'm internet dumpster diving here. I thought this was going to be huge.
No, I'm not this week. I'm not feeling the hugeness.
Oh, come. There's a Donald Trump coin, but it's a novelty coin. So
Donald Trump's got a lot of novelty behind him, so that makes sense. Gimmicks getting old.
Hold on, I wanted to tell you a funny joke.
Okay.
Emailed the client today, or message him back and forth, and just trying to get some extension stuff done. And he said to me a funny remark, and he says, "Hey, I thought because Donald Trump didn't release his taxes, I don't have to do mine either."
There you go.
So it's funny. So I sent him back a return saying, "Hey, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump emailed him to Hillary, but she got him deleted."
Oh, there you go. They work together, right?
Oh man,
there you go.
Gave us the chuckles.
Well, anyways, the $2 bill yard sale technique. So give that a try.
That sounds good.
You go down to your bank and you get you some Susan B. Anthony's and you hit your yardies and you stand out because people are like, oh, that's, if nothing else, it's cool and it's different. It makes them remember you next time you come back. And they're like, hey, you're the $2 bill guy.
There you go. So what other strategies do you have for me for the yardies?
Well, for the yardies, I mean, it's all personal, right? I mean, there's people that arrive early. There's people that want to come in late and like clean up. It's really your personality and what you're into selling, right?
There's actually a really good YouTube, or I don't know what you call it, vlog about this. We talk about Gary Vaynerchuk. That's a lot of what he does. It's called Gary V's Trash Talk, And that's all he does is he goes around to garage sales, and just finds different items.
I see a lot of garbage at the garage sales.
Okay, but and one guy, he's pretty recognizable. And somebody asked him like, "Hey, how do I do this? Like, I'm doing this kind of part time. How do I do this full time?" And he says, "Buy everything. There's value in just about everything. It just depends on how hard you want to hustle."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess
you've got to be able to say this is what's going to sell. Like there's something at every garage sale that you could flip.
There's something, yeah. There's something.
And until you know what you're really looking for, until you find that out, how many hours are you putting in? Are you putting in 10, 20, 5? If you want to make this your full-time gig, you got to put in full-time hours.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, you could buy a lot of stuff that's just crap, though. I mean, I'm a guy that's check and look. I mean, look at everything. But, I mean, you want to come home with some sheets from the infant's bed that haven't been washed and think there's value in that.
We'll be out by everything that potentially has value.
But yeah, no. There's $5 items and there's $100 items, right?
And don't be afraid. He said the one thing is don't be afraid to talk them down. Like, if you say, hey, I'll give, they're asking $10, you say $5, and they say, no, and you walk around for a few minutes in silence. It's funny you said that. Silence is the key, like the Shark Man. You know what? They say, hey, you know what? This guy's going to be $5 for this, and I didn't think I'd sell it. Yeah, sure, I'll sell it to you for $5.
Or pull out the $6 of the $2 bills and be like, I only got $6, but the $2 bills, yeah, I know. And I mean, that's the other thing. Don't be afraid to walk away. That happened to me actually this week. I guess I'll get into this story. But I talked to you about it a little bit. There was this Facebook Market post, right? And it was this Michael Jordan rookie card that was graded a 7.
You told me this.
And then they had several other cards. They had like some Kobe Bryant signed cards. They had just a lot of these signed, like, kind of rare cards. And it's basically the top of the ad said something about my boyfriend pawned my ring. I need $450 to get it back, right?
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, let's look up and see how much that Michael Jordan rookie card graded a 7 is going for. And it was about $1,200 to $1,400. So I thought, well, I spend about $500, I get back, about $900, plus all the other stuff, right? Okay. That's just on the one card. That's a transaction worth doing. And so I text up the lady and start messaging her and be like, okay, is this legit, send me some pictures. Is this the original card or is this the reprint card? Because there's that all out there. What's going on? What can you tell me? There's some broken English, I'll just say. So the communication level wasn't the best, but I got kind of the gist of it and kind of went back and forth for a little bit. And I think she just kind of got annoyed with me and she's like, yeah, we're done, basically. Because I was asking a lot of questions. And so then a couple hours later, I see a post from her and it was a bunch of different cards. I can't even remember who it was. I think it was like some LeBron James cards and some rookie cards. So I'm like, you still got the other cards and these cards? Yeah. You're selling them all for this price? Yeah. Cash first, come over, ask for whatever. Okay, where are you located? Then she tells me that she's located clear up in like Logan, Utah, which for us is like 3 hours.
It's quite a ways.
It's a ways away. So I'm like, okay, well, if this is legit, I got the cash, I'll come up, but it's going to be a couple hours. So can you tell me that if I come up in a couple hours, they're going to be there? Oh, first come, first serve. All right. So my wife had to go to a coworker's wedding, so we go to the reception. I guess this was last Friday. And this is just eating at me. I'm like, man, I got to get on this, right? And so I'm kind of texting with her. I'm like, we're going. So I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, you want to run up to Logan? And kind of clued her in on what was up. Okay. We hadn't ate dinner yet or anything like that. And the lady's kind of being slow. So the lady sends me a payment request, right? Like, pay me $450.
And you hadn't even seen her know everything.
And I said, I'm not sending you $450. I haven't even seen the cards. I don't know they're real. I don't know that we have all this in here. You're 2 hours away. That's not happening. Okay, well, there's another person interested. Cool. What, are they coming to get him or not? Because I'm getting ready to drive off.
Yeah.
And in between, messages take a few minutes. And like I said, the language barrier is a little fuzzy. So we decide, well, let's grab something to eat at a drive-thru. Well, she's getting back to us because I wanted an address and a phone number so I could verify that was legit. At least she was a legit person. And so get the address and Google it, and okay, it looks all right. And then, the phone number's not coming through. Finally send the phone number. So what do?
What did you do?
I called the phone number.
And
The number you are dialing is not in service.
So you were saying you were getting scammed.
Please try this again. So then I text the number, right?
Yeah.
And not valid. So I'm like, hey, you gotta give me a legit number. Like, I'm serious about this. I want these cards. She sent me some more pictures of the cards. But, you know, I'm not just gonna drive 2 hours to get scammed. I'm not gonna send you the money to get scammed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So then my wife's like, because I was ready, I'm like, oh, I should just go up and see if the address is legit anyways. My wife's like, nah,
Yeah.
you're getting scammed, buddy. Like, just calm it down, right? So sometimes it's good to have somebody like that to run it off of. But the same thing I was going for with yard sales is you might see something, get all excited about it. There's a point where you got to walk away. Maybe there's not the profit in it, or maybe you're just in love with that item, and you're paying what you could be buying it for at the store or anywhere else, right? So there's got to be that point where you have a cool head or somebody with you that can say, nah, man, like, they want $10, you offered them $5, they're not going to take it, you walked around, they're not budging, let's leave. Instead of trying to go back and, like, hard sell it, and then they know that you're really interested, guess what, the price can go up.
Yeah.
So that happened, so I don't have me a Michael Jordan rookie card worth $1,400 because the boyfriend or husband pawned the ring.
I'm hoping that I do, and it's a Michael Jordan, baseball card.
I hope that you do too.
That'd be awesome.
So anyways, that was my one of my stories of the week, right?
Man, I love story time with Uncle
You got
Eddie.
to, but you got to, you got to be diligent and on something like that, don't be afraid to call a phone number and make sure it's real. Like,
Yeah, look up the address on Google Maps and
the address is there, but if I call and like, hey, who's this, I am the guy from the internet, just making sure, this is the right number and stuff in case I get lost on my way to your house or whatever, then they're real. So that was my Facebook market story of the week. If I had the Libra, I don't know if I'd have been protected or not, but I didn't send no cash, so be careful out there too, because people are always
you gotta be careful.
always looking to get something over on you.
Well, we're burning, man.
Burning through that daylight.
It's break time.
Break time already?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Usually at break time, we scatter about, and we figure out what we're going to talk about. This next after this break, I got a really big story.
Okay.
I got 2 or 3 really big stories that we haven't even got to yet. So listen to that. Listen to the music. Enjoy yourself. Rest a little bit, but be prepared. We're coming back swinging.
Are you telling me you're gonna welcome me to the jungle?
Oh, I see what you.
We're back in the saddle again.
Man, you were on one today. Well, we are back and we are flowing, my friend. So let me say this. Was last week or the week before you were telling me about the Not in This Lifetime coat from the Guns N' Roses tour.
Oh yeah.
So we were kind of talking about that in shirts, and lo and behold, who announces a big concert stop right close to where we live?
Axl and Slash.
Guns N' Roses. And I get an email saying, hey, Guns N' Roses are coming to town, and or maybe it was a Facebook ad, something. Pre-sale tickets are available. So I go over and I'm looking, it's like, what's the passcode to get your pre-sale tickets, right? I said, that's a good question. What is the... So usually I can crack these codes from these places around here, like,
K-Bear 101.
Yeah, Grizz 75 or whatever. So I'm like, Jungle or Child of Mine, Sweet Child. So I do me a little Google investigation, and it turns out the pre-code cell code was Groove.
Groove.
So I'm in. I've unlocked the big whatever, the Ticketmaster.
So this is a concert that's coming up in what, about 3 or 4 months from now?
Coming up the end of October. They've been touring around. They got back together. For people that don't know, the Guns N' Roses were a huge band in the late 80s, early 90s. And then they got a little too big for their britches, apparently, and, they broke up.
And for you kids that play the Guitar Hero, yeah, that's where they did more before Guitar Hero, just to let you know.
So they broke up and weren't happy with each other and never going to get back together. And the lead singer went on and formed his own kind of band that was Guns N' Roses, but not really Guns N' Roses, and would sing the songs and show up when he wanted and show up when he didn't want. Sometimes wouldn't show up. I don't know. The other guys kind of made their own bands, kind of been doing their own thing. So
yeah, they broke up.
So they get back together and they're doing this Not in This Lifetime tour, and they're selling out like big football arenas, like NFL stadiums, and they're touring around the world and the country and what have you. So I'm thinking, well, they're probably never even come here because we don't have a big football-sized arena that has 100,000 plus seats. But I guess you need to get some money. So eventually it'll make its rounds and it gets here. So I'm looking at these tickets, and I'm like, wow. I mean, me and Prumpy were just talking about it. I've kind of been reading and talking about it. It's a big, huge tour.
Like a $475 million earning tour.
So that's almost $500 million.
Wow.
So I'm thinking there's opportunity here. I'll resell tickets. I've talked about that before. If you go back in the archives, I think we did a whole episode about scalping tickets and reselling tickets.
It's not scalping.
Reselling.
Yeah.
What do you want to call it?
Reselling.
So we've done a whole episode about my theorems and how I do it. So I got the pre-sale, and I'm looking around some of the tickets, and they are spendy. I mean, they were very costly, but I snagged me 2 tickets, right front row, very middle section, right? Or actually, I got 3 of those tickets. So before that, I kind of talked to my wife. I'm like, hey, I might be taking a deep dive, and the reason I hate tickets is because there's a hard dead day. Like the day after the concert, those are worth 0, right?
Yep.
So it's kind of a gamble, but this is one of those where I'm like, they've been selling out arenas across the country. Our arena holds a little over 20,000 people. I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out, but I don't know if I'll get the prices I'm wanting, but I'm shooting for the stars, especially for the first couple months. So I get 3 front row tickets, and then I decide to get a couple other they're on the floor, but probably about 17 rows back. So I got 5 tickets total, 3 front row and 2 row 17. And I spent a good chunk of change on those. And so today, I see that they have another release, and so there's some more getting out there. But basically, as of right now, it's not officially even went on sale yet, and it's almost sold out.
Well, I'm just going to let you know so maybe you feel a little bit better. And this is a buyer beware, be it your own thing, but 2 floor seat tickets on row 3 are starting at $1,200.
So I think I can ask a little more.
And you paid significantly less than that, correct?
Significantly less, but I still paid a whole lot. So
yeah.
So it's got me nervous, and that's where I'm kind of looking at the maps, and I can go to where you're buying them and zoom in on if you go on the Ticketmaster, you can see how many seats are there, and I'm seeing the empty seats, and I'm starting to freak out that it's been on sale for 2 days, right? It hasn't even went on sale to the general public for realsies yet without the pre-sale code, and it's not sold out yet. Why is it not sold out yet? Well, it hasn't even went on sale yet, so.
Yeah, easy, buddy. You're in a good spot.
So I think we'll be doing all right. I took a little shot on that one. I was telling my wife again yesterday. I said, here's my deal with concerts, right? If it's a really small venue and I know somebody's bigger than that venue or hasn't been there in a while, probably going to do it.
If you want to hit big, you got to swing big.
Or something like a Guns N' Roses that hasn't been on tour together for like 20 years, and I know there's the nostalgia thing, and they haven't been here in, I don't know, since when.
So you're saying welcome to the jungle.
So if like Madonna comes here, I'd probably take, like, it's got to be some big act, right?
I'm waiting for Prince to come back.
If Prince comes back, man, he'll sell it out from the dead.
Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah. So
Macaulay, no.
getting to be a lot less of them. A lot less of them out there. Was that a flashback you were just having there? What happened?
Our friend Jimmy Rome. He can't do that anymore. Once he passed,
Well, you can't do that anymore. But I guess you can.
I can.
I guess.
Well, what are they going to do? Come after the DeathPiles and taxes?
They're going to stop listening, man. We just got all these new listeners, and now like I don't know about that. That's questionable. I don't know about that Adam Beasley guy.
Hey, don't be throwing me under the bus.
Hey, you're the one that did it.
The tour bus for Guns N' Roses.
So, no, it's got to be a pretty big act, especially in a big arena, to try to resell tickets unless you got the volume. And
So,
all
Breaking
that.
Sounder number 1, big story. You went all in on some Guns N' Roses.
I went all
tour.
in. If you followed me on the Facebook or Twitter, or maybe the Instagram and Twitter, I don't know if I put it on Facebook. Anyways, you'd have known. You just saw this story when I bought them because I went all in. The funny thing is, so then I'm telling people like, hey, this is what I did. If you want to do it, here you go. Because everyone never knows how to do this, right?
They don't know.
So I'm like, this is what I did. This is the code. One, you can buy tickets for yourself to go, and or you can buy tickets and resell them or whatever you want to do. So
We had this in our group friend text. Allegedly, one friend says, I don't know any of their songs.
yeah, we have a friend that doesn't know any Guns N' Roses songs. We have another friend that is getting too old to hear that kind of music.
What is with that guy?
I don't know.
Well, I told him he could go to the Yanni concert with my grandma.
Yeah, I had to send you pictures of when I went to Kenny G with my mother.
That was the best part. He's chiming with Kenny G.
But
Well, what's big story number
well,
2?
I'm still telling big story number one.
Sorry.
Hold on to your horses.
All right.
This is a listening podcast for people to listen to my stories.
You're right.
If you think Adam jumps the gun, makes me go from story to story too fast, let him know at adamupaccounting.com.
And if you think Derek drags it on,
It's a story. It's a podcast. It's an audio story. They're going to hear me talk. If you want to have 50 bullet points, we can be done in a half hour. Is that what we want to do?
I guess this is the hard part. Like, we've become friends again and we've talked this week.
Yeah, just because you know the devil in the details.
I've already heard the story.
Well, that's because I had to call you afterwards and say, did I just mess up? Here's what happened.
Derek called me. This is one of those things. It's a big purchase. We're not talking a couple, $10, $20, $100. It's some dollars behind it.
There's some money.
And it was one of those things that he just needed to be reassured, saying, hey, what do you think? And I told him, I says, hey, I look at things from an accounting perspective. Like, dude, you're already, and this was like 2 days after you bought him, I says, I know you've doubled your money. Like, there's no question about it. You've doubled your money, so I feel good about it.
Well, and that yeah, I called you up. I can get that rest assured, so.
I think you're going to 4x times your money.
I'm hoping so. I also let my Aunt Marla's husband, Vern, Uncle Vernon.
Vernon?
He's big into, he goes to all the Megadeth, man. He loves all the metal and stuff. And I said, here's the code. I didn't, so hopefully got some tickets. I didn't follow up, but he's like, thanks, man. So hopefully it's a good night. People can go out and enjoy some GNR, man.
Yeah.
Some sweet November rain. So that's Big Sounder number 1. Now I promised you, how many stories did I promise you?
3. You said 3 big stories.
3. Well, I might have lied to you. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with that. Here's the big story. This is the one Adam wanted me to open up with, and I've just been dangling it forever. So I had a major sell.
A major sell.
The biggest sell I've ever had.
Okay.
I had a 1998 NBA Finals Chicago Bulls Utah Jazz chair cover.
Okay.
By chair, it's like the head of the chair. If you're watching on TV, they have a leather cover, right?
Yeah.
That has the logo and says the team's name and the years or whatever. Well, if you had got me 60 downloads, or not downloads, but positive reviews, you'd have known all about this by now.
Yes.
But since we haven't, I'm gonna peek up, let the curtain open just a little bit,
Just a smidge.
just so I can whet that appetite and let you know there's more of this coming. And this isn't the best item from the lot.
You're just giving us a little basic instinct right now.
So I got a cover, and I put it on the internet. And it's from the NBA Finals game, actually, that year.
Okay.
Michael Jordan may have been sitting on that chair. Phil Jackson might have been sitting on that chair.
Scottie Pippen.
Howard Isley. Who knows? But one of those people were sitting on this chair.
Jock Vaughn.
Maybe it moved around a bit. I don't know how they do it from game to game. Long story short, because I'm not going to tell the long story, I bought a sizable lot from former Utah Jazz head coach Jerry Salone's estate. And That's all I'm going to say about that right now. But if you want to learn more about it, we've told you 3 times in this podcast how you can. So, one of those items was this item. And I price things high, especially rare items like this, and people look at it and say, well, you're never going to get that. It's never going to happen, which might be true. But I figure shoot high, and they can always counter, and you can always negotiate. So I get a cha-ching the other day, and it was right after this whole Michael Jordan rookie card thing was going just not good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of depressed. We're trying to eat our fast food to decide if we're going to drive up and do this thing or not. And I look down, and this thing is sold, and it's sold in British pounds.
Yes.
Now we're talking the British pound. I don't know what the conversion rate is.
I ran the conversion for
But
you.
it was 3,700 some odd British pounds, right?
Yeah.
I accepted an offer. Like, okay, cool.
So that equals what? I think it was like $4,300.
It was a lot of money. My problem up to this point is they haven't paid for the stupid thing yet. So I'm talking to eBay. I'm all right if you don't pay me. And this is somebody, and let's go back in the archives too, somebody with no feedback, first purchase. So I don't know if they're trying to have money problems clearing that kind of cash, or if they didn't know what they were getting into. I always say sell to new buyers, sell to people with no feedback, because somebody might spend $4,000 on a random thing that you own, right?
There you go.
And if you block them, that definitely won't or can't happen.
You're limiting your sales force.
So I've sent over an invoice. I've sent over a nice little letter saying, hey man, got this ready to roll, got it ready for you, just need the money. I'll just have it shipped. I'll have it express shipped. Tell me what we need to do. Haven't heard back. Called up eBay. I'm like, I don't want to lose this sale. And of course, when I call up eBay, I don't get my friends at eBay. I get eBay from
the Philippines.
And they're just like, well, you can open a case and the item will be closed and you'll get back your fees. I don't want back my fees.
I want my money.
I want $4,000 is what I want. I said, can I talk to eBay England? Well, since there's not an open case, we can't really do that. So I just ended up hanging up on this guy this morning because I was like, don't give me the work. And I opened it with, okay, I know I can cancel the sale. And I know I can open the case and get that closed.
Did you try
I don't want to do that.
Turn your computer off and reboot?
Exactly. I'm like, I do not want to do that. I want to, since it's a contracted purchase, I want to know what my options are. I want to know if we can reach out to the guy. I want to give every opportunity to pay. Blah, 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 blah. Right? I want my money. Okay, you can open a case if he doesn't pay in 3 days.
Nice.
What did I just tell you I don't want to do? Okay. Puts me on hold for a little bit. I can't do this, I can't do that. I said, you can't do nothing. Just hung up because I'm like, just don't I can't me, right? I said, just give me my options. So I don't know legally if there's anything. I'm kind of looking to that. If there's some guy over in England that can go knock on this guy's door and say, you're going to get sued if you don't pay. I don't know. Still looking at some options. It's a little aggressive. But
hopefully next week, Mr. Derek will be in an excellent mood because he's got $4,000.
But you never know. That's the biggest purchase, I've seen go through my store.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice on paper. This doesn't usually happen. I don't know what this guy's thing is. We have time zone difference. So anyways, trying to make that work.
We'll wait and see on big story number 2.
But big story number 2, if you want to hear more about big lot number 2, you know what to do. And,
It's tantalizing. I'm waiting for it because I still, like, the details are kind of fuzzy to me. And we'll find out on that.
So I know people out there are going to be like, well, that's why I don't sell to people with no feedback and stuff, or zero feedback. Well, we were all there once, and what I'm hoping is this guy's kind of like trying to figure out how to get the funds over through the PayPal and do it all because he hasn't done it before and just not really communicating because when I'm talking to him, it's 4 a.m, and when he's talking to me, it's...
When we sold our stuff to the guy in Japan, like, we didn't know how to do it, so it takes time. So... what else you got for me?
Well, what you got for me? I've been throwing stories left and to the right. You said that you had this awesome week.
I did have an awesome
Let's
week.
hear about it, man.
So we don't get a lot into my other venture yet, and we're still kind of building. Which that's one thing you have to understand. Like, this isn't an overnight sensation. Like, when we say get rich slowly, that's what we're talking about. Like, don't expect to just run in and sell $4,000 items overnight. You know, you can get in and make some money. You can get out and hustle and make some dollars. So that's kind of what I've been doing on my other venture. I've got a company, and we make off-road wheelchairs. And I know that sounds more random than anything else in the world, But I had some partners. They had made some before, and we said, hey, man, let's go all in. So we're in the same kind of space. We're learning how to sell items online. I
Sure.
mean, that's what eBay is. That's what Amazon is.
I mean, DeathPiles can be anything.
Yeah.
DeathPiles and taxes. We're about e-commerce, right? Some people listen to us only selling Macari. I mean, whatever.
Poshmark.
Yeah.
We're learning how to sell things online. So we've been really working on this, and I feel like we're getting a little breakthrough. So we had a guy just randomly found us out of Ohio and, booked a thing and says, hey, how do I get the special coupon code? And I'm like, hey, you just got it.
You have to say groove as
Yes.
the pre-sell code.
So I got his information. I'm not eBay, so I called him and gave him some customer service. Said, hey, what's going on, man? And he's all excited, wants a chair for his daughter. So the best part is so we use QuickBooks Online. That's our, where we send out our invoices and things. Sent him an email one day. He paid it that day. The funds were already in our account.
That's
the
nice.
next day, we got the shipping information. So by the time he ordered it, the chair's going to be to his house in less than probably 8 days.
I'll have a happy guy there.
And that's what I'm saying is you can get into just about anything. If you would have told me even a year ago from right now, because we hadn't even sold it, that you would be making sales on the internet through Facebook, through Messenger, through whatever outlet that you are for selling off-road wheelchairs, I would have said, here's that blue Kool-Aid, go drink some more.
So your off-road wheelchairs, you want to say company name where people
Yeah,
can find it? They might be interested,
It's called Extreme Motus. That means mobility in Latin. Like I said, it's an off-road wheelchair that's really meant to go, in the backwoods, go on gravel, go on sand and hiking trails.
It's been spread all around the internet. I mean, I've seen it several times pop up in different places.
We've got millions of views on it, and literally, it's all over the world. We got it in Japan and Germany. But anyway, we just had a good breakthrough just a few minutes ago before I got here. That's why I was a little tardy. One of the guys we sold the chair to, we didn't hear anything from him, so we don't know what's going on. And that's what I'm learning is the feedback, the follow through on some of these things. Our item is it's a feel good item. It's not just a one and done. It's not a T-shirt. It's somebody who's using this thing often, and that's what we're hoping. And our buddy Wade, he said, "Oh yeah, dude, this is the awesomest thing ever. I use it every single weekend." And he's taken a couple videos and stuff, and we said, hey, take some more, share it. One of the other guys that we sent it to, a guy in Virginia, he says, yeah, man, we're putting it in our Spartan race next week. Like,
wow.
What the?
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know what a Spartan race is, it's like an extreme outdoor race that you go through mud and, and sand, and, it's a pretty it's an intensive race, and there aren't a lot of people that are doing it in wheelchairs. So we're kind of excited for it.
When you say wheelchair, I mean, we all have something in our mind, but this is big wheel, almost like a trike that you're...
It's a mobility device. It doesn't... Saying a wheelchair gives it a disservice.
Well, yeah, it's not... When people are thinking pushing this through mud and stuff, go look it up. Just Google it and you can see to see it for curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
It's a racing seat on amazing balloon tires.
It's pretty cool, so... Congratulations on that. You were a little tardy. I wasn't even going to bring that up. I had something I was going to put on my Instagram. But since you were tardy, what do I do? I'm in the area.
What do? You're probably checking out for McCormick Spices.
I go over to this candy store off Main Street right over here, right?
Uh-huh.
And I go in and the kid says, "Oh, can I help you with anything? What are you looking for?" I said, "Man, I'm just trying to kill some time. I'm not really looking for anything. I just thought I'd come around. It's kind of a fun store to look through." And that was my real intention. I was just going to go there for 5-10 minutes and drive on over here.
Nostalgia there.
So I'm looking around, and I see these Mary Jane candies, right? You know what Mary Jane candy is?
I'm not familiar with your hippie lettuce.
Not that Mary Jane.
Oh, no.
You never went trick-or-treating and got the old Mary Jane candies?
No, we had to check our candy before we could eat them.
If you got the Mary Jane candy, that was going into Dad's special bag.
Well, we don't
the brownie.
treat in Colorado.
Anyway, so some of you out there know what I'm talking about. I
have no idea. Just I'm not joking. I have no idea.
You know a Necco wafer?
I know what a Necco wafer is.
So the same company that made Necco wafers and Conversation Hearts made these candies called Mary Janes.
Okay.
That company is out of business. Whoa! What happened there?
We were jamming out to some Guns N' Roses between the break.
My goodness. I have to edit that out for copyright. Maybe not. Enjoy that. Or the engineer, not me. So that company's went out of business, and my dad loves Necco wafers, so he's kind of heartbroken. And he's stocked up, but I think he's ate all of his stock because he was going to sell them on the internet. Because now they're going for a fair amount of money. And so I'm over there looking through things, and I see a box of, and by a box I mean like 11 boxes of these Mary Jane candies. And so I grab them, and I'm looking through his other stuff. I'm hoping they have some of those Necco wafers. And so I asked the kid, I said, apparently there was something that I needed to get. And so I said, do you have any of those Necco wafers? Oh, no, man. When that company went out of business, we sold them all out really fast. And I thought, well, this company made these same things, and you didn't sell these. So I got 10 boxes of Mary Janes out in the back seat of the car, and they're going to go on eBay when I get home.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So thanks for being late.
That's just... I don't know how you do it, man. You're a smart guy.
You got to always be kind of thinking, right?
So
come back over to the parking lot and chill.
In the window of 15 minutes that I was late, because I was selling on the internet.
Oh, yeah. He called me, said I'm running a little late.
You went into a store that's like, it's a block from my office that I would have never thought. I mean, we go in there, we buy some things, but you went in and found something in a store that that's what they're doing. They're in the business of selling things. You found something on their shelf that they completely undervalued. You bought it, and now you can sell it on the internet.
And hopefully I make some good cash out of it, some good sweet cash.
Is that what it looks like? Is this the right Mary Jane candy?
That's one of them. This is a different version. This is like a box version. What they are, they're not even that great, in my opinion. Some people probably love them, have the nostalgia, but they're just like a little chewy candy. I can't remember. I think they're like a peanut flavor
is it like
or something.
the bit of honey?
Kind of like that, similar to that, but the company goes out of business and people can't get them, so where do they go?
eBay.
They go to the eBay, and there you have it. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's what that makes me think. It's more areas in candy stores and things like that. They might be more plentiful than I even thought.
That's it, home, right?
Yeah, it's like those.
Wow.
So not bad. Let's see what else do I got going on here.
Man, see, that's the thing. Like, I would have never thought about that prior to meeting, prior to us actually talking about the details. I always knew that you sold stuff online, but I never knew what it was.
With your Necco wafers, now here's a sweet tip. There's chocolate ones and there's sour ones, which are more rare than the original, which none of them are being produced anymore, so they all have some pretty good value to them at this point. So if you happen to see any of those at your candy stores, or I know sometimes the Cracker Barrels and stuff, if they haven't been picked over, have that kind of a thing, pick that kind of stuff up. Or the Sweetheart, the Conversation Hearts, the original chalky ones, same company. So if you happen to have any of those from like Valentine's Day past or whatever that you just haven't broke out, or I don't know what.
Man, see, you're full of good stories.
Here's the pet peeve of mine.
Okay,
I've been meaning to bring this up.
And what's your pet peeve? I try not to be late often. I'm always trying to be early guy.
No, not that. Not going on. You made me money on this one.
Okay.
I'm glad that you were late today because I bought that box of candy. Right.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. De nada.
So
De nada.
My boy, man, did you see The Rock get his Lifetime Achievement Award the other day?
I like The Rock, man.
His speech. If you have now, maybe I'll put this on the end. I'll just put it on the end. He's an inspirational man. Yeah. I'll just say that. So I'll put the speech on the end of the podcast. Listen to it for a special Rock. He won some MTV award, but it was like a lifetime achievement type thing. And MTV, when you're in your 40s or 50s, your lifetime's been achieved, I guess.
Shout out to The Rock. Good guy. Friend of the show. The whole reason we have the wheelchair. Emma, girl who a tree fell on her tragically, paralyzed her, basically made the chair for her. Mm-hmm. She was up to the Sundance festival a couple months ago, and she loves The Rock more than you do. And she was there and said something while he was coming by. Dude totally came by and took a picture with her, talked to her. Just it made her. It just made everything for her.
So here's something I learned from Chris Jericho, another wrestler, right? But if you're in a position to do something like that, take the time. You won't remember. Like The Rock doesn't remember doing that.
No.
But that person will never forget it for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So if you're in the position where you can do something like that, take an extra minute, do something for somebody like that, they'll never forget it. And you won't remember it, but they'll never forget it. Make somebody's life, right? Give them their moment.
Friend forever.
So, anyway.
Ooh. Finish your story, and I'll come back and tell you mine.
Okay. Email addresses, right?
Okay.
If you're a professional person, I was sitting somewhere where we had to give out our emails. And I have work email. I have my professional email. And they're pretty just Derek Everett. For the most part, that's what they are. There's something base of that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I hear this person, and it could be a man or a woman. This time it have to be a woman. And it's like, what's your email address? And this is for a serious, like, whatever. It's Kitty5729 Phoenix, something like that. Like, what?
At AOL.com.
At AOL or whatever. And it's like, kitty like a cat, K-I... And then I'm just like, Phoenix like the bird, the numbers. I'm like, this is your professional... This is your... Like, set up an email. Like, if you want to be taken professionally seriously, don't come and tell me that you're, Elm Tree 72 5th Street at AOLwarner.net.
At Hotmail.
Juno, or whatever. Even at Hotmail, like, you can have a professional email sounding, even if it's like the storage company or the, whatever your online store or your whatever your profession, even if it's like, I drive fast cars, like, I like cars, like, just be like, car guy, right? So, Ferrari Testarossa 7954 at AOL.com.
So that's just with the email addresses. Your Twitter handle can be something funny or different, right?
I think so. I mean, but your Twitter's got to relate to you. Like, if you put something obscene, people aren't going to be following you, right? If you think it's funny, but other people don't get the joke,
True statement.
they might stay away from it. So, yeah, that's what I think. That's just like when I'm sitting there and it's something serious and it's like, have a couple emails and have your personal, funny, ha-ha, friendly one. But if you're going to be trying to do something and be taken serious and you have to say this in public to people, maybe you got it when you were 14 or 15. Update that because you're not, I don't even know, like Troll Doll Collector 75. I don't know.
So that's your pet peeve.
That was a pet peeve of mine. Heard it this week and I thought, you got to be kidding me.
That's a good thing.
Continue on with your story now. Sorry.
No, I didn't. You just
Said to remind you.
striked up the band with a funny story just like that. I was at an event in November of last year, and they had Alex Rodriguez, Arod. He's kind of like this, he's been on the, I don't know what you call it, the rehab tour, trying to revamp his image. Got busted for steroids. Kind of at the time, a very arrogant guy. Okay, and
It wasn't very likable.
no, it was not very likable. But then he came back with this whole heartfelt story and said he wanted to start listening to people a little bit more and, being more kind-hearted, okay? So he comes in and gives us this spiel, this whole story, okay? And I'm at this event. I mean, there's thousands of people there. And I had a couple of guys that I met there, and one of them, like, he was the biggest A-Rod honk. Like, this guy, like, he drew a picture of A-Rod when he was a kid. Like, really cool picture. He showed it to me, like, out of pencil. Like, he's been a fan forever, like, his whole entire life. So, A-Rod's giving this speech and this story, talking about as he came back from the steroid suspension, talking about, at the time, nobody liked me. Like, everybody hated me. Nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with me. And he says, you know what, finally, at this point in my life, I'm going to give back. I'm going to sign 25 baseballs every single day. I don't care who it is, what I'm doing. And he made it like that was his story. He talked about rehabbing, redoing anything, becoming on Shark Tank, kind of changing his image. And he was saying, like, I was begging people to, like, sign balls. Like, hey, you want me to sign a ball? Like, he's doing all these things at the ballpark.
They're like, no, we hate you.
Yeah. So it was funny because it was totally staged. While he's telling this story, somebody out in the crowd throws him a ball. He signs it. So,
Yeah.
And it was funny because I totally, I bought it, man. Hook, line, and single. I'm like, dude, this guy's, changed, man. He's, going after it.
This is the A-Rod that was at the Mariners.
I was like, man, this is A-Rod,
See what I did there? I know some things.
So, anyways, after he spoke, the kid I was with ran, he was waiting outside of the area because he knew where A-Rod was going to exit the stage. And he had a baseball ready. He was dying. He's like, I'm finally going to meet A-Rod. It's his,
It's my moment.
It's his moment. This is this guy's sports idol. And A-Rod comes out and he says, hey, A-Rod, hey, man, I'd love to get you to sign my ball. Oh, I don't have time.
Really?
A-Rod says, I don't have time for that. I got to catch my plane.
After you just gave a speech about that.
Yes.
So we got two stories here. We got The Rock,
Yeah.
who will go out of his way, and this is our perception. Some people
Absolutely.
listen, like,
Yes.
goes out of his way, sees this little girl in a wheelchair. But, I mean, there's plenty of stories about, you know me, I follow this kind of stuff. Plenty of stories about this guy going out of his way to make somebody's day.
Yeah.
And then you got Arod, who gives a big speech about, hey, I'm a good guy now. And the second he gets off that stage and has the opportunity to do this, he just big times this kid.
Totally big time.
Wow. And now we're sharing the story, right?
And he came back on, like, afterwards, and I'm like, you know, I kind of knew about it, but not really. I'm like, how'd it go? And he was like, you're never going to believe this. And there were a couple explicitive things that he said.
Oh, I bet.
Like, this kid that was his thing, and Arod totally big dogged him and says, I got to catch my plane. As he's, like, walking with him, getting on the golf cart.
How long did it take him to sign that ball?
It would have taken him, like, 3 seconds.
And how much better would that story have been for him?
Oh, yeah.
And he signed the ball and threw it to the kid and said thanks.
He literally says, I got to sign 25 autographs a day.
I'd hit my quota, kid.
And he comes out and says, hey, Arod, I'd love to be one of your 25. I don't have time. I got to catch a plane.
Wow. Can't make that kind of stuff up.
No.
You can't do that.
Totally forgot about that.
I was going with this warm heart. I was like, and A-Rod did the right thing, and then the stage ball or whatever. I was like, the kid, wow.
That's how I felt. Like, I left all warm and gushy, and I'm like, man, A-Rod's making some good things. He's a good guy.
A-Rod's trying to rehab the image, but what's that? You can put lipstick on a pig, but still a pig? Is that the old saying?
Sarah Palin.
You can't put new stripes on a tiger.
And I'll say it right now. A-Rod, you can go pound sand because you just you blew it, man.
Well, there's the thing. I mean, I was all about the rehab. When you built me up on that story, I was all for it. We hate A-Rod. How about that?
We hate A-Rod.
DeathPiles and taxes. We don't even like A-Rod.
I won't even buy his stuff to resell it.
I will, but I won't give him any credit for it.
I won't.
And if you want burning your stuff, instead of burning his stuff, send it into DeathPiles and taxes, rookie cards, signed baseballs, jerseys, memorabilia, and we'll take care of it for you. Don't even worry about burning it. We'll pay shipping if it's worth enough. Either way. But yeah, that's disappointing.
I won't. I was there firsthand. I got the firsthand, felt good. Give me the ooey gooey.
You paid because they brought him into this event, right? So you paid this ticket, and that's where he got his money from, and then he hits and runs.
Ripped my heart out, so I won't ever sell any A-Rod stuff. I'll just throw that crap away or burn it.
Hey, if you're ever in the position, like, none of us are probably going to be these major celebrities like these people we're talking about, right? But in your own way, you might be in somebody's life. Just remember this. If you got the opportunity to make somebody else's day, we all have bad days. We all have tough times. Just do because word gets around, and you might be on somebody's podcast someday about, oh, that guy's a jerk.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Or that guy's great. I'm going to put a clip of his speech at the end of the podcast. You never know. So just go the extra mile to do the right thing.
Saying that story just fired me up.
Yeah, now I'm mad.
And I'm going to say it again. A-Rod, you suck.
I'll say this. We are the most anti-A-Rod podcast in the world.
That's right. First-hand experience, A-Rod.
If you hear this podcast, you go ahead and tweet at A-Rod that DeathPiles and Taxes does not care for him and that he's not welcome to come on our podcast.
And he's a liar about his 25 signatures a day.
If he wants to come on this podcast, he's not allowed. He is banned. A-Rod is banned from this podcast as of right now.
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, we'd love to have
anytime.
him.
Open seat. Open door. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you can come on whenever you want, day or night, Christmas, whenever, we'll show up. A-Rod, you will never be on this podcast.
Book it.
There you go. Wow. Now I'm fired up.
Well, you got to give me something to cool down here. I mean,
I was just going off goofy email addresses. I didn't think we'd get there.
All right.
Man.
Well, we'll throw in this tidbit real quick because we're getting de-escalated here.
Wow! Now I'm all Jones, and now I need to go back. Welcome to the jungle.
That's right.
Oh man,
that's what happened. So going back to stories, we talked about me kind of living on my own and doing my things, and we'd like to have people over.
Yeah.
One guy's like, there may or may not have been a couple altercations.
I mean, it was a kid. He went inside the kid's ball. Sorry. Like, I could see if it was somebody like us, and he's like, oh, they're just going to sell it on eBay. This is a diehard kid.
This guy, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, music has a lot of influence on
Everybody hated him. And this kid still liked him. He was still behind him for the whole scandal.
This is
You're banned.
Banned.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Yeah,
Calm
see,
down.
see, influence. Well, the story we just talked about has changed your attitude.
Perception's changed.
We brought something up with negative annotation.
Probably still doing
we
steroids.
We have hateful feelings. So we're at our place having some friends over. You know,
I don't even like that J-Lo anymore. I think that's who he dates or married or something. Even if they did date now.
see, it's all because we played the Welcome to the Jungle. It gets you all fired. No wonder they play it before football games. I'm ready to go out and punch somebody in the face.
What about Arod?
If he was here right now,
Alex Rodriguez. We do our best. Now I'm not saying we'd win the fight, but we'd give him his money's worth, because he can't come on the podcast.
that guy's a billionaire.
Okay, tell your other story. I don't want to think about it.
I don't remember anymore.
Welcome to the jungle. You were living on your own. Music.
I'm past it. Anyways,
Well, I'm past it too.
another shout out to. I like enjoying shows that give you that they bring the curtain back, because a lot of things on reality TV, like, they're fake, and a lot of them are like they're made for TV and they're exaggerated and things.
Staging. Well, yeah.
But if you're not familiar with Marcus Lemonis,
Oh yeah, the prophet.
the prophet, PRO, like money, not evangelical.
spiritual,
Yeah. Here's a little quote from me. He says, "If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business." That's kind of his whole perspective on things. Is, yeah, we all love to buy stuff. Like, that's what this is. It's the addiction. It's the cha-ching.
Well, that's the fun part, right?
Yeah, that's the fun part. Is, yeah, buying stuff, but selling it is when you make it back. Like you said, you make your money when you buy it. Well, you've made an investment. Like, you have a large portfolio, but you don't get anything until you sell it. And unless you're taking care of that process in the right way, like, unless you know your whole business, like, how much money am I making? How much money am I spending? Like, that's what it is you got to know what you're doing. You got to have a plan, Stan.
Well, if you don't know your numbers, I think you need to come talk to Adam Beasley. That's what I do.
That's right. And I tell you your numbers, so.
Hey, I got a question for you.
All right.
I always have these little work things that I bring up and stuff, and what have you. And
Because you're a professional driver like Matt Kensick, who I have some cool swag of his on my eBay site.
okay, well, if you're going to name competitors, H&R Block. How about that?
Well, they're going out of business, so I don't really care.
So's Matt Kenslick when I come around the fifth turn.
Hey, I don't care if you go to H&R Block. We're better.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm at the office the other day, and people are talking about hobbies, right? We have. So they're doing this pretty cool. They're doing, because we have a lot of people that work in the company that I work for, like,
Yeah.
overall, and so they're doing this little email thing where it's like they ask people random questions and they answer it. And one of those is, "What's your hobby?" Or "Would you have a hobby?" or something like that.
Yeah.
Now this created controversy around the water cooler, so to speak. Somebody put that their hobby is watching Netflix.
Okay.
Is watching Netflix a hobby?
I would say yes, because it's just like going to the movies. I would say, like, that's your thing. I wouldn't say a hobby, because a hobby is more of something that, like, you're engaged with, like you like to do, like fishing, hunting, going to the ballpark, doing and knitting.
So is watching TV
Sweaters.
a hobby?
It's because like doing film, like going out and doing videos. I'd say making videos, and again, I'd say it's kind of in that you're learning, but you're not really learning. It's more of like a lazy hobby.
Because the argument that was brought up was, if you're a filmmaker or something like that, you can watch movies and get ideas and stuff.
If you're engaged.
And I said, no, if you're a filmmaker, you go out and you make the films that you put on there. Like, I don't know, I was pretty adamant that, not necessarily, I'm not buying it as a hobby. I can buy about anything as a hobby. I guess technically it could be, but I was team not a hobby.
Team not a hobby, huh?
Like, go buy some stuff and sell it on the internet. No, that's a hobby.
Well, that's a business.
Well, it can be both, apparently.
That's a business.
Business. I don't ever trust anyone that calls it business. It says business, or something like that. Can't remember that joke, but it's a good one. You'll think of it someday.
You get that thing I sent you?
You'll think of me when somebody says, "Well, you want to do some business together?" The answer is going to be no, because you don't ever trust anyone that pronounces business.
You got to change it. I got a huge pet peeve, but move on.
Oh man, we've just touched some subjects today. I mean, this has been probably our most controversial, hard-hitting, mean-spirited. I'm still all upset. And now I've now pet peeved you something because you call it business, don't you?
No, this has nothing to do with this. This is getting back into the people that you don't do business with.
Okay, you got me all fired up, man. I know that we've been going back and forth on this, but I can't let this Arod thing go.
Yeah, tell me what you got.
I think it's tanked the show a little bit.
It probably has.
Brought my mood down stuff. I'm going to tell you what. If you got a baseball out there,
okay,
and you want it signed, I'm committing right now. Me or Adam, you see us anytime, any place, anywhere. Or if you want to send it in, we will sign your baseball.
We will not snub you.
No matter, we'll sign your baseball, no matter what.
I love it.
Well, I mean, I can't afford to mail them all back to you, but self-addressed box, I'll mail them back to you. But if you see me in public, I'll sign your baseball.
I love it.
Can you commit to this with me?
I can commit to it. Get your death pile and taxes.
If you see us anywhere,
Sure.
I mean, we'll sign anything. But if you had a baseball that was ready for Alex Rodriguez, and you know that's not going to happen. Now, I know that I don't have the Hall of Fame type career numbers that he put up
Yet.
in Major League Baseball, but he doesn't have the podcast numbers that I have.
He doesn't have the podcast numbers.
Not on Death Piles and Taxes show because he's not allowed.
That's right, banned.
So if you want me to sign your baseball or Adam Beasley to sign your baseball,
We'll do it.
we'll do it. Does that make you feel better?
That
fix up the episode a little bit.
I love it.
All right. I just had to get that off my chest. That's okay. What you got? What you looking up? What are you saying?
I'm just trying to see how this. I just want to punch Arod in the face. That's all I want to do.
Man, now I need to come up with a title for this show about probably punching Arod and the Arod's banned from the podcast. I don't know, something like that.
Well, I don't know. I just don't know if I can go any further.
I mean, I think I've reached my limit. I'm sure people that are listening have reached their limit about 5-10 minutes ago.
I forgot this story till you brought it up.
Wow. I'm sorry for doing that, but you people need to know this. If you're out in public, if a celebrity's wronged you, you let me know, because I will address it on these airwaves.
And we will ban them from this podcast.
But also, if a celebrity is not,
yeah,
then you let us know. And
let us know. Give us your good experience.
We want good stories. We don't want more of these A-Rod stuff.
We want a Dwayne the Rock Johnson coming out of his way to make a girl's day.
There you go. That's what we want.
Yeah.
You know what else we need to know?
What do we need to know?
There's only two things in life that are for certain. Are we to that point?
Yeah, but before we get, you'll be certain that A-Rod will snuff you.
Wow, that might be three things. he's not going to sign in 25. Let's look up on eBay and see what an A-Rod signed ball's going for. One of these 25 a day that he's signing, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's a loosely based 25. Yeah. It's one for that guy that throws it from the audience to him, and he signs it and throws it back, and he uses the same one every day.
Staged.
Wow. Not real.
All right.
You know, people talk about my love of the professional wrestling circuit. And I was happened to go see the professional wrestles the last Sunday.
We'll have to get into that next week.
Well, all I'm saying is A-Rod's more fake than that stuff I was watching.
Agreed.
Kofi Kingston, the champ, he took a selfie with me.
He did.
Thank you, Kofi.
He made your night.
You could have A-Rodded me, but you chose not to.
Yeah, let's not A-Rod people.
Yeah. Two things.
Two things that are certain.
Well, now three with A-Rod, but maybe we'll stop saying his name even. Maybe he'll be banned from being mentioned on the podcast.
What do we call him? The 252 guy?
We'll call him Mr. Blue Lips.
Mr. Blue Lips. The snubber.
The snubber.
What are those two things that are certain in life?
Death Piles and Taxes.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I want to thank the dancers and the choreographers, Dave Scott and John Silver. Give it up for them, my boys. Yes. I want to say thank you to MTV for this awesome, really incredible, prestigious award. I also want to thank my family at home, my girls. I got a house full of strong-ass women at home. But mainly, I want to thank the ones who make this whole thing happen. I want to thank you, the people, the fans. I thank you. All of you at home. You are the reason I'm getting this, so I want to share a really quick lesson with you guys that I've learned over the years. The most powerful thing that we can be is ourselves. And I love what Zachary was saying, because that's us. We're always that little kid, and we're still that little kid right? Just aspiring to be something better, aspiring to be important. So when I first got to Hollywood, they didn't know what the hell to do with me. I mean, I was this half black, half Samoan, 6'4", 275-pound pro wrestler. You know, I was told at that time, well, you got to be a certain way. You got to drop some weight. You got to be somebody different. You got to stop working out. Stop doing the things that I love. You got to stop calling yourself The Rock. What? No, I love you back. Thank you. That's my mom, everybody. Thank you, Mom. You know, and for years, I bought into it because you think, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I was miserable doing that. So I made a choice. And the choice was, I wasn't going to conform to Hollywood. Hollywood was going to conform to me. So Hollywood conformed to me, and here I am with all of you getting the Generation Award. Holy shit! What you saw up here tonight, I mean, that's who I am. I'm proudly half black and half Samoan, and I wanted to bring those cultures up here for the world to see. So, yes, it's important that you are your most authentic self. I'm a walking example of that, but here's the thing that I want to share with you guys. That's not enough. Because there's another side to being your authentic self, your true self. And that's the side that the magic is on. That's the side that's gold. And while, yes, it's important to be yourself, you got to recognize the joy and the responsibility of bringing everybody with you. We bring everybody with us, and you do that by being kind, by being compassionate, by being inclusive, and straight up just being good to people, because that matters. And if you can hit that place, that's when you become powerful, that's when you become influential, that's when you can have real global influence in a positive way. So that said, I leave you with this. When I was 15 years old, I heard a quote, and I will never forget it, and I bring it with me everywhere I go, and it's ingrained in my DNA. The quote is this: it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. With that, I love you, I thank you, drink your tequila, I will see you all down the road. Thank you very much.